lot of this sound, though, when you guys did Rumors in Sausalito B, I've been in there recently, in the last 5 years, but was that room pretty much the same sound as this? Very similar, open but dead?
Yeah, it was dead, and they had carpet down, and they had drapes,
and you had to put like a packing blanket behind Mick?
I thought it would absorb the cymbals and sound if we wanted it not as open.
Got it.
Or contain it and send it back down.
So the key here is obviously Steve has a very specific drum setup where the toms is a 3. Mick would play 2 toms and then a bottom. And the way Steve has it similar, but there was 87s on the toms, an 84 on the hat, a 56, and a 451 with the pad. And the 451 with the pad is not just a pad, it's literally a capsule, 20 dB capsule pad. And C12As, 414s, and then the big one that most people don't know, which is the Beyer 88 on the kick. The reason why I thought you were like the perfect fit for this is because between Mick and you really focus on very, almost like Ringo playing, very simple for the song, but the attitude you get with your kick and snare, as simple as it gets, there's 2 guys, and one of them wasn't available. Just kidding, you were available. There we go. There we go.
Use those APIs, buddy. That's what they're there for.
I know.
Don't be afraid to crank them. Well, that's bass.
Okay, I don't think we even got to that place. So we need to just start figuring out that too. Headphones, perfect.
So what?
That's the Sony, Ken. Sounds fucking great, as is. Maybe a little bit of EQ.
Yeah, roll it off the bottom.
We don't need any compression on
Now,
that.
just roll it off the bottom, add 12 dB at 15K.
Jesus, 12 dB.
Check.
Or roughly, whatever. Season.
Hello. Check.
Season to taste.
If I remember correctly, when you were doing Dreams in Sausalito, Mick was playing on the side and Stevie was doing her live vocal, right?
Right.
Like looking at the drums, looking at Mick, 12 feet away, 10 feet away.
25.
So in the same room. So if you solo Dreams ever, I remember the first time we were looking at the multi-tracks and I solo a vocal and it's just the snare, like really loud. So if you mute Stevie's vocal, the snare drum, the whole drum set totally changes because the vocal take, except for the second verse, is all live, right?
We'd always have to reach for the second chorus.
It changes,
and
right.
you push it up and you hear this
From the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The leakage in the room.
So that was a huge part of the drum sound, obviously, is that ambience from the vocal. Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
I need to hear B3 for a second.
Look at that.
All right, thank you.
That's John and B
That was
sitting right
easy.
about there.
Steve, you ready?
Yeah, you know what?
Hold on.
I just got one. This microphone
Yep.
is taking a hit every once in a while.
Okay, let's pull that back. It's only a vintage 87.
I don't mind hitting it, but it's fucking up my drum part. How much is it? I'll give you $20 for it.
Rolling.
They could almost take that ending and do like a solo thing and just vamp out. Caillat.
No, I'm Ken Caillat.
I'm Ken Caillat.
I'm Steve Ferroni.
I'm confused.
Okay, welcome. So now that we've tracked this song, I've done a mix, and I want to do a breakdown exactly of what I've done to show you a little bit about the process I took to mix it. There's my fun little part. So we did that acoustic guitar that was a 12-string, and I remember it just never staying in tune, but I did like the way it sounded on these turnarounds. So if we listen to the turnarounds here, you're going to notice that there's a lot of parts on this track. When you start opening it up and soloing it, on its own, it sounds a little funky. So please bear with me. Most of the edits we did while we were cutting this down and comping was in play with everything on. So we made executive decisions based around how everything was playing together and not by itself. So there's probably some really funky edits. I know in the beginning, the acoustic guitar in itself, if you listen to it, it sounds like it's falling on top of each other. That's because of the way that Danny sang, it matched, and I edited the guitar to the voice to make sure that it was all matching with the drums. So there's all these elements. If you listen in virgin standing on solo, it sounds a little funky. Just like this acoustic guitar. It's a little loud, but what it's doing is it's adding a little more weight to the chorus. Another element of talking about starting one way and then ending another way, you can hear the 12-string going on the acoustic section of the chorus, and then it cuts out, and then the acoustic 6-string Gibson takes place after it, right here. And it comes back. Down. This is where the solo's at. We wanted to add a lot of space, so the solo could actually breathe a little bit. And we put a nice big giant fat plate on that solo as well. So let's open up the solo and talk about it. This is Reese Richardson on the guitar. This is on its own. Knowing how Lindsay tracks the guitars, he likes to do like cross playing, where he'll play a melody and sometimes it harmonizes off each other. Sometimes it completely fights against each other, but he'll do that and sometimes lock it in mono. And knowing the guitar tone of this track, I just wanted it to be a little thinner. I wanted a little more fur. So I put the decapitator on it as well on the end setting. And I put our little trusty phaser on. Topped it off with a little more EQ, bandwidth, and then a little Teletronics LA3A. And popped in the old fat plate